Modern America is one of the most lonely places in human history. Recent data shows that there is a loneliness crisis among Americans, and it's only getting worse. 1 out of every 10 adults aged 65 and older reports feeling lonely, and that number is over doubled among Gen Z. It's no wonder that in 2023, the U.S. Surgeon General officially declared loneliness and social isolation a public health epidemic in the United States. People are struggling, and it's not getting better on its own. Chances are you might know someone going through a battle with loneliness. Perhaps that person you know is you. So, how does a country help people overcome this? Being lonely is more than just being alone. People have attempted to solve the problem afflicting our nation, but nothing has worked, or really even resonates with those who are enduring hardships. The simple blasé answer of stop being alone is dismissive of the problem and solves nothing. And it does something far worse, too. It is the complete exemplification of the loneliness epidemic itself. There's no empathy. There's no care at all for someone who's looking for help. The solution then presents itself. It's not just that people aren't having enough social interactions. Rather, it's that the social interactions that they're having aren't substantial enough. Having arrived at that conclusion, there are a number of practical steps that anyone can take to escape from being lonely. But before getting to those, we have to ask, what even is a substantial social interaction? What does it really mean to be connected? You see, today most American relationships are seen as voluntary and conditional. Friendships can drift apart, coworkers change jobs, neighbors move away, and online friends can log off forever. All our relationships are fleeting and unstable. This makes people feel lonely. To solve the loneliness epidemic, we have to establish permanent relationships. So, permanence is one of the first steps to be truly connected. And where else to find these permanent relationships than the family? The family bond is the most unbreakable human connection. You will always be connected to your family by blood, and this makes the relationship you have to your family something unique. Not only are family relationships more permanent, but they have the potential to go much deeper than normal relationships. All human beings come from families, and the family is the first community that most children encounter. In a good family, a person learns that he, and every human being, has inherent value. A newborn child has done nothing to earn affection, yet a healthy family welcomes that child as a gift. On the opposite side of life, the elderly grandparent who can no longer work remains worthy of love and care. This inherent respect for life at all stages, which is exhibited beautifully by the model of the family, gives the child his first opportunity to learn that human dignity is not something we achieve, it's something we possess. This makes the connection that family members have to each other a special one like no other. It's no wonder that when surveys have asked lonely people for the reason behind their loneliness, 2/3 answered insufficient time with family. The family is the first place we look for permanent, substantial relationships. If we want to have good lifelong relationships, we need good families. So how do we build strong lifelong family relationships? At the root of any family is blood relation. Blood relations, of course, come about from mothers and fathers having children. So if strong families are the goal, then the relationship between mothers and fathers must be likewise strong. If family bonds are to be permanent, then the bonds between mothers and fathers should also be encouraged to be permanent. This bond between mothers and fathers, in order to be permanent, would require them to be married. When done well, marriage can be one of the most powerful bonds between human beings. There are many cases of men and women who have died suddenly of only a few days after their spouse of many years died, showing just how powerful the marriage connection can be. If we want to combat loneliness, we need to foster marriages. It is with marriages and families that we can then turn to communities. Our connections to our neighbors and social groups aren't as enduring as our family ties, but they are almost as important. In overcoming loneliness, we should try to integrate ourselves into local communities. Nothing will just come to those who choose inaction, though, which begs the question, what do I do? It's one thing to understand the problem itself, but another thing entirely to understand where to go from there. If you're looking to deepen your substantial social interactions, then the most important first step is to invest time in your existing family relationships. If you still have contact with your family members, that's great, but like anything else in the world, good things need to be dutifully maintained. If you've grown apart from some of your family, do your best to reconnect with them. Call your mom after work and ask about her day. Call and ask your dad for advice or help with something. Visit your grandparents on the weekends or invite them over for a nice meal. Show up to your nephews and nieces' games and recitals. Care for aging relatives. Support siblings and cousins through major life events. You can be the relative that organizes family gatherings. Help create traditions that keep family members connected. These are the people who are most invested in you and your well-being. When you show up for them and support your family when they need you, you will find that they will have your back and be there for you too. Of course, not everyone comes from a strong family. Some families are broken, distant, or dysfunctional. But that really doesn't diminish the importance of family. It shows us what is lost when families fail and why rebuilding them matters. In modern America, the tendency is to view the family as optional and individual autonomy as supreme. But combating loneliness begins by treating family relationships as a priority, not an afterthought. We established how strong families are built upon strong marriages. They're the bedrock of the family. To create lasting family for generations, surrounding you with a network of people who will care for your well-being, it would make sense to find someone to marry. If you're not married and you feel called to it, go for it. Finding a spouse can be difficult, but it starts by looking. Date with the intention of getting married. Start attending more social events with people your age. Many people meet their future spouse through a shared community. Churches, neighborhoods, schools, and civic organizations bring people together and create opportunities for lasting relationships to form. If you want butterflies, build a garden. If you want someone who will be a quality spouse, work on fostering the virtues that will make you attractive to a member of the opposite sex. Virtues like patience, sacrifice, commitment, and fidelity, which are not only attractive, but integral to marriage itself. Now, if you're already married, focus on building up your bond with your husband or wife. Make your spouse the joyful center of your life. Today, almost half of marriages in the U.S. end in divorce. But historically, marriage wasn't seen as a choice you could go back on. It was about giving your life to another person by promising to live with them and have kids together. It established a relationship that was intended to endure for a lifetime. If we want to end loneliness through our marriages, we need to see marriage as something permanent and treat our spouses as someone who will be with us until we die. With marriage comes the possibility of children. Not only do children strengthen the bond of you and your spouse through blood, but they have the potential to allow you to grow and mature in ways you never thought possible. Kids make your household multi-generational and provide a visible reminder of the bond of your family. These people, your kids, will give you a deep, irreplaceable kind of companionship. More than that, they will keep your family alive, especially as you grow older, and will provide you comfort and companionship in your old age. Whether you have your own family or not, the community is a place where you can be introduced to your future spouse, or create lasting connections that have the potential for multi-generational impact. So how can we build deep, permanent connections with our neighbors? The key here is to treat your community in some sense like your family. You will never share the same kind of blood connection with your friends and neighbors as you do with mom and dad, but you can still share other things with them. You can share your time, energy, and talents. The goal here is to not receive from your community. It is to give to it. Help your neighbor with yard work. Be friendly to the man running the local sandwich shop. Strike up a conversation with the woman walking her dog down your street. Be the person who welcomes others into your life. If you're older, become a mentor, a companion, a trusted neighbor, or a source of support for younger generations. Even if your family isn't strong, you can still help build the kind of family-centered life that strengthens others and leaves a lasting legacy by building up your local community. The practical solution to loneliness is not simply accumulating more social contacts through your workplace, teams, or other community engagement. The practical solution is building deeper and more permanent relationships, the kind of relationships that can only form in families, in communities, and in marriages. Today's loneliness epidemic is a direct result of the decline of these institutions, the community in its greatest form, the family. The solution is to preserve and restore them, because it is only here that people will find a lifelong sense of belonging, purpose, and connection. It is only here that you can find the deepest and most enduring human connections, and only here that you can be truly home. God bless.